Up next on Live at 5, police find the body of a 5-year-old girl kidnapped in Southern California. We'll have the latest in a live report.
Prescription drug prices are skyrocketing, but help could be on the way. And security at the Capital Region federal buildings may not be as safe as you think.
Live at 5 is next.
This is News Channel 13, Live at 5.
Good evening, I'm John Gray.
And I'm Benita Zahn. Our top story, the 5-year-old girl kidnapped in California outside her home on Monday is found dead.
Today, police delivered the horrible news to the family that the body was, in fact, this little girl. Now they're saying that there could be a serial killer on the loose. Again, what really struck everyone, Benita, is the fact the child was just playing outside her home with a friend when she was grabbed.
Exactly.
Let's go live to Tracie Potts in Stanton, California with the latest on this.
Authorities are now involved in a full-fledged manhunt for someone they describe as a serial rapist and a serial killer. We're in front of the home of the young victim. Authorities have been giving us briefings here. We're expecting another one this afternoon. They are now awaiting tests, the results of forensic tests from evidence collected at the crime scene. Investigators describe the crime scene as a calling card left by a killer who not only wants more attention, but more victims.
This individual, based on our profile, will do this again and soon.
It could happen within 24 hours. Another child missing, like 5-year-old Samantha Runnion. She was snatched just outside her home Monday while playing with a friend. Her body was found Tuesday night in a remote forest 75 miles from home.
We don't know where the murder occurred. That is part of the investigation, but we believe that she was sexually assaulted. And yes, there was some trauma to the body.
Authorities say they've gleaned a ton of forensic evidence from the body and the crime scene, evidence they hope will lead them to the killer.
Don't sleep, don't eat, because we're coming after you.
While police comb the community for anyone who may recognize the suspect, FBI profilers are studying digital photos of the crime scene, trying to determine who he is, why he kills, and where he may strike next. There are dozens of investigators involved in this case, and one of the things they're doing is tracking down people on the state's sex offender list, looking for anyone particularly who had access to this area. Reporting from Stanton, California, I'm Tracie Potts. Now back to you.
Thank you. State wildlife officials are warning about an increase in rabies in the Capital Region this summer. A deer was discovered in Delmar over the weekend that tested positive for rabies. While the disease is fairly common among raccoons and skunks, it's not often spread to deer. Wildlife officials are reminding folks to keep their pets vaccinated and to contact animal control if they spot an animal acting strangely.
Right after a first look at your forecast, a plan on the Senate floor to save you some money on those high-priced prescriptions.
And a News Channel 13 investigation into the security at the Capital Region's most prominent buildings. First, though, over to Lee Copson, who's in for Bob in the Weather Center. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Benita. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we've seen a rather dry weather pattern the past few weeks, and it looks like it's going to continue, but we do have a chance of a few isolated showers and storms this evening and continuing into the day tomorrow. An approaching cold front is right north of the border in Canada right now, so partly cloudy skies. Just an isolated thunder shower in the North Country this evening, warm and muggy, and that will continue overnight, so turn up the AC tonight. Temperatures near 70 degrees for overnight lows after we hit 90 again for a high today. And then we'll talk about some scattered showers and thunderstorms tomorrow as a cool front will move through. Humid again tomorrow, but then some drier air and a beautiful weekend coming up. I'll have the complete forecast coming along in a few moments. Benita.
Thank you, Lee. Frustrated senior citizens are rallying behind proposals that could cut into the soaring costs of prescription drugs. Congress is currently considering legislation that would make cheaper generic versions available for many popular medications. Bill Lambdin talked with some local seniors who'd welcome the chance to buy generics. Bill?
Benita, companies argue they need patent protection on drugs they develop to pay for expensive and uncertain research. But critics complain the manufacturers manipulate well-intentioned laws to keep generic competition away from consumers far longer than legislators intended, all the time charging high prices to people who need the medications to stay alive. Ann and Michael Widowski are both over 90 years old. Combined, they use 7 different prescription drugs on a regular basis. Most of them are brand names with no chemically identical generic available. That makes the drugs very expensive.
Drugs that are made in the United States are sold for less in Canada than they are in the States here. This is ridiculous, but that's a fact of life.
No argument from pharmacist John McDonald, who is also the Cohoes mayor. He strongly supports legislation that would limit the ability of big drug companies to long delay the availability of cheaper generic competition.
Businesses' health insurances are spiraling 15% a year on drug costs specifically.
Examples: Prilosec, used to fight stomach problems. A year's supply costs $1,661. The generic equivalent would be $1,000 cheaper. Lipitor, cholesterol medication, $903. Its generic equivalent just $352. Senator Schumer is one of the bill's sponsors.
We're saying to the big pharmaceutical companies, once your patent expires, no games, no tricks. You have to allow the low-price drug on the market.
Although there are different versions under debate, Schumer and other Senate leaders are optimistic that in this election year, something that will actually benefit consumers will be agreed upon. Live in the newsroom, I'm Bill Lambdin. Benita?
And you know, Bill, with the graying of America, more people obviously going to need some kind of medication. There are more and more people who are in favor of something like this.
Oh, I think it's a very popular issue with the voters. But there are several different issues involved in this whole thing, and the question will be is, what is Congress going to do, and will they do it promptly?
And then the question also becomes, I suppose, will those drug manufacturers jack up the price even further for the first time around if they've got to go to the generic a little bit sooner?
Yeah.
We shall see. Bill Lambdin, live in the newsroom. John?
A News Channel 13 investigation has learned that the firm supplying security guards for federal buildings right here in the capital region is the same company who just lost its contract with the state of New York. Phil Bailey joins us with more, and you've got my interest.
Well, John, the company providing the private security guards for some of New York's most sensitive and famous government sites is accused of putting guards out there who aren't trained and haven't even had background checks. The company goes by a number of names, including International Services, Inc. and International Protective Services. After investigations by New York's Department of State, Attorney General, and State Controller, they lost their contract with New York State, and on the federal level, their guards have been yanked off prominent sites like the Statue of Liberty. But IPS still furnishes the federal government about 150 private security guards in the capital region, including Albany's Leo O'Brien Federal Building, the Foley Courthouse, and the FBI building. Keith Stack with the Department of State says they have passed on to the federal government findings of their investigation into the guards provided for the state of New York.
You have to undergo the fingerprinting, the background check. There are training requirements that all guards have to undergo. A number of these guards have not undergone any of the necessary prerequisite training that is required by law.
In Albany, IPS's federal guards largely get good grades. Many are retired Capital Region police officers, and a number of them off camera have told me they're unhappy with the company too. John, Benita, we're going to have more on this on News Channel 13 live at 6. The CEO of IPS tells me over the telephone from California, despite losing their state contract, they're in perfect compliance, he says, with the federal contract.
Okay. More on this at 6?
Yeah.
We look forward to it. Thank you, Phil.
Well, police around the country are adding security to popular landmarks. This after 3 Syrian men were arrested by Spanish police with videos of the Golden Gate Bridge, Disneyland, the Statue of Liberty, and the Sears Tower in Chicago. Officials say that while the videos look suspicious, there's no proof that the men were planning any kind of an attack. Israel Radio, though, reports 6 people are dead and at least 15 injured after a suicide attack in Tel Aviv. The bomb exploded on the street near a bus station. Witnesses say 2 suicide bombers were involved in that attack. The fact that hormone replacement therapy may have a connection to cancer has many women worried. I'll tell you about another option a little later in my health report.
At 5:18, we're going to bring you a preview of what the dredging of the Hudson might look like in 2005. And at 5:24, we're going to tell you why so many people are excited about air conditioners today, and it's not just to beat the heat.
Live, local, late breaking with Benita Zahn and John Gray. This is News Channel 13, live at 5. News Channel 13 is sponsored in part by your Hyundai dealer and by Curtis Lumber. Coming up, News Channel 13 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Lee Copson.
And welcome back to today's pollen and mold count. Grass remaining high at 133. The mold is low at 1361. Our thanks to certified allergy and asthma consultants. And you can always check those numbers yourself. Just go to WNYT.com, click on pollen count. And today, I think you'd agree, is one of those days you're happy to be inside with air conditioning.
Yeah, something else high other than the grass there was the heat and the humidity returning to the area. We got up to 90 again today for a high temperature, so a warm one out there. 89 is what we're holding at right now, with a pretty nice breeze out of the west-northwest, at least offering up a little bit of relief. Right now blowing at 15 miles per hour, and the dew point, you check that now, in the middle 60s. And that's when it starts to feel a bit on the sticky side when we get up over 60 degrees. It was in the 50s yesterday when it was nice and comfortable, but today you see it's into the mid-60s, starting to feel more muggy. Pressure starting to fall as we have some stormy weather heading our way. You can see that on the satellite picture. Notice all these bright white clouds that blow up just north of the border in southern Quebec and northeastern Ontario. These are little clusters of thunderstorms that are heading generally to the east, but they are starting to dive a bit to the south in the flow. The upper level flow is out of the northwest, so a few of these thunder showers could get into the north country overnight, and then we'll look for more of this activity to be approaching the area tomorrow ahead of a cold front that will eventually get this humid weather out of here. But hot and humid across the northeast. You see temperatures running in the mid-90s in the mid-Atlantic states. In Philadelphia, 94, 92 right now in Kingston, and still in the 80s here. A bit cooler up across the north country due to those clouds blowing in from Canada. But certainly the humidity is on. Another humid day tomorrow, but then Friday we'll see humidity levels dropping and setting the stage for a very nice weekend. So still a bit on the hazy side tomorrow. Winds out of the northwest, but there could be a few thunder showers, and that'll kick up winds if you get caught in one of those thunder showers. Temperatures once again in the mid-80s. Water temperature at Lake George Beach right now near 70 degrees. So all the humidity across most of the country getting pumped up to the northeast now as that little warm front slid by. But this cool front is what we're watching to push slowly to the south for tomorrow. And that'll bring in this high pressure center here, which will bring us lower humidity into the weekend. Not really a big cool down. Temperatures will still stay in the 80s, but certainly you'll notice humidity levels will be dropping. National radar picture shows that front. You can just see a little band of showers and thunder showers lining up right here across the upper Midwest and into southeastern Canada. That's our weather for tomorrow, as this front will slowly sag to the south and again bring that cooler air mass in for the end of the week and the weekend. But still warm and muggy tonight with a shower or a storm generally north of Albany, 67 to 72. And then tomorrow, another warm, humid day, 82 to 87 with scattered showers and thunder showers along that front. Bringing in drier weather by Friday afternoon, 82 degrees. A warm weekend with moderate humidity. Saturday, Sunday, mid-80s, and then the humidity goes back up Monday for the start of the next work week.
And then we're getting close to the opening day of the track.
Yeah.
Yes, Wednesday next
week. That's right.
Yeah, I ran to Ed Louie. He said, just tell Bob and Lee and all those guys, just sunshine for all of August.
Oh, the pressure's already on.
He does the PR for the track.
Right,
so.
right, yeah.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay.
Let's get a check on the ride home now.
Julie Feiner has the latest from over at the Metro Traffic Center. Hi, Julie.
Hi, John. Hi, Benita. Very busy out here this afternoon. I-90 West getting reports of debris between exits 11 and 10. We have a crash off to the right shoulder at exit 1S that's causing delays as you try to make your way through the tolls this afternoon. 787 North, a busy ride for you out of downtown Albany. The Northway northbound side slowing down as well, about 30 miles an hour between Wolf Road and the Twin Bridges with delays onto alternate Route 7 West. Have a great night. For News Channel 13, I'm Julie Feiner in the Metro Traffic Center.
Thank you, Julie. The teens we told you about yesterday accused of wearing masks into a fast food restaurant have been caught. Ed Dague will bring us details on that in our Around the Region report.
We'll also tell you where the winning Mega Millions lottery ticket was sold, and nobody here is holding it.
No.
And even if you have millions, you may not want to spoil your kids. Lydia Kulbida will tell us why in our parenting report at 5:19.
I'm Elaine Houston, coming up on Live at 5:30. An Albany couple adopts twin girls from overseas, but it's not the first time they've dealt with twins. Their amazing story is coming up. And we will show you the car of the future. It may be expensive, but it features some safety options you may find at a local dealer. Those stories plus reports from Saratoga and Bennington counties as News Channel 13 continues.
For more details on some of our stories, visit WNYT.com. With more news from MSNBC, WNYT.com is powered by Verinet Solutions, putting internet technology to work for your business.
Welcome back. Saratoga County town supervisors took a cruise today. Not a pleasure cruise, though. They wanted to view some Hudson River dredging.
Dague has the story in our Around the Region report.
It was not a bad day for a cruise, though. Maybe there's a little pleasure in it, too. It was a tour organized by Stillwater Town Supervisor Paul Lilac, who is also the chair of the Saratoga County PCB Dredging Committee. The supervisors were able to see navigational dredging of an area of the Champlain Canal in Stillwater. Navigational dredging makes passage possible for boating traffic. It is similar in appearance, though, to the environmental dredging that the EPA will be undertaking. In this case, the sludge is not contaminated, so they're not concerned about resuspension of toxic after they dredge. We have an update on the story we first brought you last night. The teenagers accused of wearing Halloween masks inside fast food restaurants in Saugerties, well, they're now under arrest. The teens allegedly confronted the clerks. They didn't make any threats. They didn't steal anything. Still, police found something to charge the three boys with, and that is loitering. And we have a winner for the $165 million Mega Millions jackpot. The winning ticket was sold in Bergen County, New Jersey. The winner validated the ticket but has not presented it to lottery officials yet. 2 second-place tickets worth a measly $18,000 each were sold in Massachusetts. I am now finished. I've got to get out of here or I will be charged with loitering.
We don't want
Just
that.
don't put a mask on.
I'm still loitering.
Yeah, true. Thanks, Ed. There's a fine line, all parents know this, between giving your kids what they want and giving into every desire.
Lydia Kulbida has some help in tonight's parenting report.
I hope with that fine wine. You want the best for your child, but you have to realize if you give in all the time, you may be on the road to raising a brat. The Trudeau children like to have nice clothes and toys, but when it comes to doing chores, look who's pushing the lawnmower.
It's not their fault. I mean, it's my own. I've done it for them since day one, so why do I expect them now when they're teenagers to make a big turnaround and start doing it on their own?
Parenting Magazine says in today's busy families, overindulgence is not uncommon.
A lot of parents find it very hard to not give their children all the things their children want or that they have the capacity to do. I think what helps you think twice about that is when you watch your children's appetites go over the top for every piece of junk or clothing that they could put their hands on.
If you suspect you are spoiling your kids, there are ways to turn the situation around. Learn to say no. When you give in to every desire, you take away your child's ability to earn something on his own. Make chores a part of your family's routine, but don't pay for every job.
Cleaning up your room and helping with the garbage and carrying the mail, those are citizenship issues. And if your kids are not doing it, it means they're not feeling enough a part of the family that they want to help out.
And don't supplement your child's allowance every time the money runs out. Instead, help him set up a plan to save for the things he really wants. For advice on other parenting issues, you can check out the parenting website. Just log on to WNYT.com and click on parenting. All things we know, just hard to keep to when you hear that little screaming voice by your side in the store.
Exactly.
True.
And
Thanks,
everybody
Lydia.
looks.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Lydia. The air conditioner is celebrating a birthday today. We'll tell you how long it's been around in our Smart Money report after the break.
We'll also have the closing numbers from Wall Street for you, and a flower may hold the key to getting rid of menopausal symptoms. Details are in my health report at 5:25. No, your eyes don't deceive you. An up day for the markets, finally. Dow closing up 69 points. NASDAQ managed to gain about 22.
Of local interest, mostly green arrows. That's also a change for what we've seen lately. International Paper and GE both gaining over half a point. We like good news. We want more good news from the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
The Dow snapped a 7-day losing streak after stocks jumped after the open. The blue chips gained momentum after some bullish earnings reports. United Technologies led the gains in the Dow after posting a 6% rise in its second quarter earnings. The maker of jet engines and air conditioners also said full-year profit would be higher than forecast as cost-cutting pushed margins higher. And positive news from Citigroup and JP Morgan kept the rally going. The two biggest banks said lending to consumers for home equity and mortgages drove up their second quarter profit. And despite the slew of bullish earnings, analysts are still wary. An equity strategist at JP Morgan said that analysts had super lowball earnings estimates anyway, and the fact that companies are now beating them is not good news, and the outlooks aren't convincingly strong. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rallied 69 points. The S&P 500 rose 4, staying above that 900 mark, and the Nasdaq gained 21 points. With the Bloomberg After the Bell report, I'm Deborah Kostroun.
Thank you, Deborah. Smart Money report now. The anniversary of, oh, we're so happy about it, the air conditioner. 100 years ago today, the air conditioner was invented by Willis Carrier. He had just graduated Cornell University, and he designed a cooling machine to help a printing company out. Because of the heat, the ink would run, but once that air conditioner was installed, the problem with the ink was solved. In 1928, Congress was air conditioned. A year later, the White House was cooled down. I guess the rest of us got it about 60 years after that. Now, 80% of America's homes do have air conditioning.
In our check of healthy living, more evidence of the link between hormone replacement therapy and cancer risk. The latest study on the subject looked at 44,000 postmenopausal women on estrogen-only therapy. The patients were followed for 20 years. The study found that these patients had a 60% greater chance of developing ovarian cancer. Experts say the risk comes after 10 or more years of use. You can read the entire study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Meanwhile, red clover isoflavones, also known as Promensal, may help alleviate the symptoms of menopause, and you don't need a prescription for it. Promensal is a dietary supplement sold in various health food stores.
So that at least I know it's safe. In addition, I know that Promensal in some women will allow them to stay off estrogen and to control hot flashes.
Along with those benefits, Promensal also keeps your cholesterol levels down. If you'd like more information about hormone replacement therapy and the risk of cancer, you can call the National Cancer Institute during regular business hours. That number is 1-800-4-CANCER. This is prompting a lot of conversation among women and their doctors, and you really need to have that conversation.
And there's a real trend towards natural products, isn't it, to help with life's pains?
Right, and natural doesn't always mean safe.
Right.
So you really have to examine that also.
Right. Well, a local family adopts twins from the other side of the world, and it's not the first time. Their story's coming up live at 5:30.
First, though, the controversial All-Star Game without a winner brings in the most viewers this week. Here's tonight's Top 5 at 5. That's it for us for this half hour, but still much more ahead on the disappearance and now the subsequent murder of Samantha Runnion in California.
Sad ending to that story, and the guy's still on the loose. We'll get to that right off the top. Let's get a final check on the forecast, which is hot. Here's Lee.
That's right. Muggy overnight tonight. Crank up the AC if available. And tomorrow, still a bit warm and muggy temperatures in the mid-80s with scattered showers and storms. Those storms associated with a cool front that will be moving through. It won't really drop our temperatures all that much, but you'll notice a drop in humidity Friday afternoon and as we head into the weekend. The weekend looks beautiful. Lots of sunshine Saturday and Sunday with temperatures topping out in the middle 80s and lower levels of humidity. That's your forecast. News Channel 13 live at 5:30 starts right now.